Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Oblong Polka Dots and my name is Kerr. And on this channel, we talk about makeup, skincare, and beauty. So if that's something you're into, you've come to the right place. Today, we are going to be using a palette that is called Treslúce. And actually, I think it's pronounced Treslúce. Treslúce Beauty, La Flor de México. And this is what the box looks like. Very pretty. It's even got a nice detail right here. And then this is what the palette looks like. Isn't that beautiful? I picked this up at Ulta a while ago, and I'm just opening it for the first time. So I'm excited to use it. The palette does come with a large mirror, and here are the shades. It's a lovely palette. It is a neutral, but it's got a lot of satins and shimmers in there too. So I think that today, because I've been asked lately to make more colorful looks, I'm going to make a green look, and I'm probably going to use the shades, probably Birds of Paraiso, Jardín, maybe Pineapple Sage, and Nopal. So these are the colors right here. And down here, that one. So let's make something pretty. Let's begin with priming, because that's what we do. We're going to prime the eyes with the Essence Prime Like a Boss eyeshadow base. I love this eyeshadow base so much. It works really, really well. It keeps my shadow from moving all day. It keeps it from creasing. It really just makes it so that it doesn't budge, and it makes it so it looks pretty. When you first put it on, it does have kind of an oily texture, but don't freak out. It will quickly dry down to a nice tacky finish and will definitely hold all of your shadow for the day. I'm going to put a little bit here too. So we're going to put some on the bottom. And then let's see, for the face, I have a tiny little smidge of this Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer left. So let's see. When I first bought this primer, you guys, I did not like it. Now I love it. So there you go. Sometimes with the product, you just have to say, okay, maybe right now it doesn't work with my skin, but maybe down the line it will. And certainly this one works for me now. And as always, I'm starting off with a cleansed, treated face. So we're just going right in with the primer. You can ignore all this right here. This haul pile is just, it's out of control. I really need to film those videos so I can put that stuff away and start using it. Okay, base is primed. All right, so first let's grab a flat brush, as I often do, and figure out how we want to do this. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I don't know much about this palette, and I don't know how the colors operate or how they work. And since I'm not really necessarily in an experimental mood, I'm going to give this look a little boost. So this is the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in the shade Khaki. And I'm going to use this all over my lid so that we can just have a nice green base. And these shadow sticks are definitely intended to be used as a standalone, but I use them as a base for color because sometimes with shadows I really have no idea what it's going to come out as. And this just neutralizes the color that's underneath. So it neutralizes whatever color, well, the color of my skin. So in this case, because I know I want to do green, I'm just going to start off with a green. All right, now we're going to go in with a flat brush, and we're going to start off with this shade. How about the Pineapple Sage? So this one right here has kind of a green tone to it, slight green undertone. And let's see. I don't see a lot of kick up in the pan, but I do see some fallout on the brush already. So that's what that looks like. And I'm going to try patting this down all over my lid. I'm not seeing any fallout. This formula is pretty dry, but it's not unworkable. It's not like dusty, you know what I mean? So it is dry, just not dusty, if that makes sense. It feels like a drier version of, say, like Lorac. I'm not seeing any patchiness either, so that's good. And it might have to do with the primer and everything I stuck down. So next I want to go in with, how about same brush, but we're going to use the clean side. I'm going to go with Hadin. So that's the shade right here. We're going to pat that all over the lid as well. We're just going to take this and bring it into the first half of the lid, because that's where that green is really going to come in. This one has the same formula, I should say, but it does have a little more kick up in the pan than the other one does. So just something to be mindful of. And we're just packing that color onto the lid because I really want it to be saturated. And again, we're just going halfway in. Okay. I'm not seeing any patchiness. This is a nice formula. I don't know. I don't really feel like I've heard people talking about it very much, but when I saw it online, I was like, ooh, that's pretty. Okay. I like it. It's green. It's vibrant. So we're going to set this to the side and let's grab a different brush and start working on that outer corner. Let's get a smaller fluffy brush for that so we can have more precision work. How about we go in with the Passiflora? So that's this one right here. And we're going to use that for the outer corner. Just taking this little brush and dipping it in there. I think that these colors all generally have the same amount of kickback in the pan, but I'm not seeing fallout yet on my face. So we're just taking that right there into that outer V and just patting that in. Wow, this is a really beautiful, rich brown. It's definitely a red brown. It's very pretty. I like this shade. I bet you can actually use this shade on its own and just have it deep on the outside and then just sheer it out as you go in and just make it a single shadow look. Very pretty. I think it works well with this green. Okay, so that's where we are right now. And then let's set that little shader brush to the side, or that little fluffy brush. Let's go in with something lighter to try and get into that crease. How about we go in with Petunia? That's this one right here. And we're going to use that to blend out in the crease. Same amount of kickback as everything else. Just bringing this up a little bit, just to warm it up. It's a nice peachy nude color on my lid. Very pretty. It's got a little bit of sparkle in it. I don't think it's going to pick up on camera though because it's very subtle. There we go. Nice. I like this one too. This is a really beautiful transition color. Look at that. It's a nice peachy brown. It goes perfectly with my tone. It's warm, but it's not detracting from the cool of the green. You know what I mean? There we go. I like that. Okay. So now we've got that in there. And next, let's set this down for a minute. Why don't we go and grab the NYX glitter primer? We're going to use that for the lid. Let's grab a clean brush, something like this, a little flat brush, because we're going to go and pop on one of these shimmery colors with this primer. And I love this primer for glitter, you guys. It's so perfect, but you don't need much at all. Like a tiny little bit goes a long ways. We're going to lay that down everywhere that we really want to sparkle and shine. This stuff is so tacky, it holds everything down, like everything. I'm just going into about the 2/3, inner 2/3. And even though you can't see it on camera, like it's already tacky, it's already like pulling on my lid. So whatever I lay down on top of it is going nowhere fast. It's just going to stick there. Okay. All right, let's grab one of these sparkly shades. Let's put that back. I need to wash my brushes, you guys. I need another small brush. How about anything over here? Actually, this will work. We'll use this one. So for my lid, I'm going to go with the Birds of Paraiso. This one right here, because that has some green in it. And it looks like a duochrome, but I can't tell. And I won't be able to tell until it gets on my lid. It's very glittery, like a chunky glitter. So it's definitely meant to be a topper. It's not a duochrome, but it does have gold and green in it. And I'm just packing this on the lid. Can you see that? Let's do the other side. I'm not seeing fallout, but I think it's because I put that glitter primer on first. So I'm literally just pressing this into that primer so that it will stick. If I hadn't used it, I am assuming there would be fallout because this is a very chunky formula. Yeah, I like it. Let's put a little more on this side. And I'm not seeing a lot of kickback in the pan either. These are really beautiful shadows, you guys. This formula is lovely. Again, I really haven't seen people talking about this on YouTube, but this palette is clutch. Okay, so we're going to grab that little brush that we used earlier and just go in and make it a little bit deeper on the outer corner. So I'm going to probably use this Chocolate Cosmos color right here. This one. Let's pop that in there on the outer corner. Just to make it a little bit deeper. Yeah, like that. And then I need a fluffy brush or something fluffier, just a little bit. And I'm just going to go like this. Let's pull this up a little. a little bit into the crease, not a lot. Right there at the end of that brow bone. Just so I can create a little more of an angle. Okay. A little bit of glitter out there, but that's okay. All right, what do you guys think? I like it. I like it. It's bright, it's sparkly, it's pretty. I like it. Okay, so I'm checking for fallout. I'm really not seeing anything. Just a little bit of glitter right here. That's pretty good. Hold on. Let's clean it up just a little. I'll grab one of these sponges and a little bit of this Clinique Take the Day Off, and we'll just clean that up and we'll finish the rest of the face. Let's see how much landed on this little sponge. Look at this, not much at all. That's very little fallout. This is a beautiful formula. Wow, I'm impressed. It's very high quality. It's pigmented. These colors are blending well. They're not buttery. They are dry, but they're blending well. So yeah, I'll take it. I think this was a good purchase. It's definitely a beautiful palette for making like neutral looks or making sultry looks. So yeah, I recommend it for sure. Yeah. And I believe this is owned by a Latina woman. I'm pretty sure of it. So I'm here to support my sisters. I love it. All right, so let's finish up the face. We're gonna go in with the, I was supposed to be using a color corrector. I've told you guys this in several videos now. Let me grab one. So I just bought this. It's the Milani Under Eye Brightener, Conceal and Perfect in number 4, Nectar. I have not even opened this yet, so let's give it a try. It's got one of these little sponges, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, you just squeeze it a little. Yep. You squeeze it a little and the color will come up. But people always say don't overdo it because it'll be too much. So we're going to do a little color correcting down here. My dark circles are hereditary. It's normal. But I do like a brighter under eye because I like the way it looks. Okay. So that's there. Wow, look at that. Put that away. And then, let's see, somewhere around here I had a sponge. I don't know where it is. Well, we're just going to mix this in, right? Let's let it dry a little bit at least. Just a little. I thought I had a sponge somewhere around here. Maybe we can blend it in with a brush. Whoop! Good catch. We're going to use this Morphe M170, M as in mother, 173. And we're just going to pat that in a little bit. And then we'll go over it with the concealer. And it is brightening. Can you see that? It's got some kind of pearlescent in it. And it's making my under eye bright. I don't know. I don't know. Does this look right? Is this a good shade for me? Am I just barking up the wrong tree, or is this okay? We're going to find out. Let's grab this Lancome Tainty Doll Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. This is in the shade 470. And we're going to pop that right on top. We're going to see if this makes any difference. It'd be nice if it did. What I should have done was use the corrector on one side just to see the difference between the two sides, but we're here now. So let's just go on the trip together. Okay, let's let that dry up a little bit, shall we? I need a eyeliner. I'm going to go with the one that I love the most. It's the Demolition by Urban Decay. I use that to line my eyes. It's just a really beautiful brown. I don't line my lower lash line because whenever I do, I feel like it ages me. I'll do it every once in a while. If I have like a super colorful look where I really want the eyeliner on the lower line to pop, I'll do that, but otherwise you will not see me doing it. We're just only going to be lining that top line. There we go. Also, when I use the liner and I line my waterline, I feel like it really makes my lashes look thicker. Can you see that? So then they look a lot more voluminous without actually having done anything. So, love it. What did I do? Oh, guys, this table is a mess. It's a little train wreck going on in front of me. We're going to take the sponge. I use my sponges dry. I don't use them wet. So we're going to take that and we're just going to press in that concealer right on top of that color corrector. You have to let me know if you guys see a difference because I really cannot tell. There we go. Really just pressing it in there. I love this concealer. It's my favorite. It comes in a wide variety of shades and tones. It plays well with every product I've used it with. Foundations, tints, the whole nine. It's just a really beautiful concealer and it blends beautifully. And I like how it looks very skin-like. I'm not sure if it ever shows up on camera. I can never tell, but I do enjoy it. Okay, what do you think, you guys? I like green. Green's my favorite color. I wish I wore it more when I was doing makeup, but I always feel like it's one of those things where I'm like, does it need to be an occasion for me to wear green? I don't know. For my face, we're going to go in with some of this Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. And then we are going to go on top of that with this Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. I have mine in the shade 3N54, in parenthesis is Y463. So if we are skin twins, this is the foundation that I'm using. With this, I really only use about maybe a pump and a half at the most. I just want it to look skin-like. I'm not really looking to cover anything. I just want it to kind of even out my tone. There we go. And now we're just going in, just blending it in. Cover up a little of that melasma. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for a more even tone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to cover everything on my skin and make me look completely flat. I just want it to enhance what I've already got going and to even it out a little bit. I really like that more natural look. Although every once in a while, I do like a matte look. I do. But generally speaking, when I'm doing my makeup, I prefer just a more natural look. And I think that this Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation really delivers. Here we go. What do you think? Look natural? I feel like it does. I like it. Let's see. You guys, I really need to wash my brushes. Okay, so now let's go in and do another layer because that's what we're doing today. We are layering it up. I'm trying to get used to doing this frequently because it's getting warmer. And if you do the Wayne Goss layering with your setting spray, so you like prime, set, spray, cover that with your base, set, spray, cover that with your concealer or whatever, set, spray. If you do that layering, then your makeup will last all day long, especially in the heat. So might as well get used to it now. There's a couple powders I have here in front of me. I have the Black Radiance Soft Focus Powder. It's a finishing powder. And this one is in the shade Golden Almond. I'm going to take this little sponge I got from Amazon. I'm just pressing it in, and then I'm just going to use that to set my under eye. Same for the other side. Don't want to use too much powder, right? We just want enough to set. We don't want that cakey look. We're just setting. That's all we're doing. Okay, and then for the rest of my face, I'm going to grab the, For the rest of my face, I'm going to grab the Becca Hydra Mist Set and Refresh Powder. This is all I've got left, and they don't make it anymore. So this is it, you guys. Once I'm done with it, I'm going to have to use my other powders. Oh no. Just going to tap a little into the lid here. I know. You know how you get a product and you absolutely love it, and that's what you use for a really long time. That's what the Hydra Mist powder is for me. I just love it. It doesn't make my face feel dry. It sits comfortably on my skin. It's just a really nice powder. It's disappointing they don't make it anymore, but I'm hoping that maybe somebody else will pick it up or grab the formula and they'll make it instead, and then I can fall in love all over again. Let's see. We have a blush over here. Which one do I want to use today? I used that one yesterday. How about this one? This is the Morena Beauté Marron Peach. This is an Afro-Swedish brand, and it's got a little sparkle in it. And since my eyes are sparkly, I figure, you know, let's just go overboard with the sparkle, shall we? Let's do it. I really love the Morena Beauté brand because these blushes are so pretty and they blend so beautifully with my tone. And it's like never overboard. It's buildable. They're warm. It just matches love. It's just lovely. I don't know what else to say. And when I've used them, I can get that really nice ethereal look that I'm going for with a blush. So can you see that? Just kind of take it up and wrap it around right up there. And I like to go just underneath my eyes. I love blush. I think blush is fun. Just adds a little something to your look, you know? All right. We are almost finished, you guys. Oh, ow, my elbow. Let's go one more time with the setting spray because, you know, going overboard. Okay, like that. Gonna let it dry. And then for mascara, I was gonna do some color on the bottom with that palette, but I kind of like this open eye look, so we're not gonna add any color. So we're gonna go straight to the mascara. This is from Benefit, and it is the Bad Gal Bang Mascara. It's a very wet formula. Let's put these brushes away first before I make an absolute mess. Hold on. You guys, it is time to wash these brushes. Okay, so let's go in with this mascara. I love this formula. I'm not a huge fan of the brush, but it's not really their fault per se. This is just not like my favorite kind of brush. It's one of those stiff ones. And I always have to be really careful with these because I tend to poke my eye out. But if you like a wet formula, this is a really nice one. I prefer though to purchase the Essence mascaras because I change my mascara a lot. I change it frequently because I'm afraid to get like any kind of infection in my eyes. The mascara can really harbor bacteria, even though they have like antimicrobials that are in the formula. I just can't with that. So I do throw out mascara fairly frequently, which means, you know, it's a slightly higher cost item than anything else because most of the other stuff I use can use it for a long time. So I do prefer the Essence, but if you are looking for a higher end mascara that has a good formula, this is a really nice one. Okay. And then let's do the bottom. One more coat. There we go. Just right. What do you think? Do you like it? How about we throw in a lip and then we'll be done. I have this one sitting here. It's from Gucci and it's in the shade Mildred. It's so tiny. Mildred Rosewood. This is one of my favorites. I wear this a lot. It's just a nice neutral brown. Here we go. I think it matches okay. All right, guys, that's the look. What do you think? Do you like the green? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I really appreciate you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.